think I'm a better person than David in that sense. But somehow he's the man after God's own heart, and I'm just whatever I am. I think it is not necessarily all that he did, because I don't know if it would balance out or not if he took all his good stuff and his bad stuff and put it on a scale. But I think it was how he thought. That he was very honest about his failings, at least in his writings. And he believed beyond belief that somehow there was a way where there seemed to be no way.
Okay. Grace.
Because we can get tempted sometimes to review our past over and over and over again until we're sick of hearing ourselves tell the same damn story. You know? It's like you're talking and you go, man, why don't you shut the... I'm sick of hearing me.
That's what God was telling me. He said, you ready to move on?
Yeah, I mean...
That was said, ready to move forward. Yeah, what about the past?
But there is a place, if you learn to breathe a little bit, pull yourself back out of that reactive kind of stereotype behavior that we established, like this lady I was talking about. Because she told me about, you know, this demonic man that had sexually molested her and her sister and done the rabbit in the cage thing. And then I go, and then she went to school and told, and then the police came and all that. And then I go, and then what happened? Because I'm thinking, you know, this is a demonic, all-powerful entity in her life. And she goes, well, and it was like, dun dun dun. He came in my room when I wasn't there. And he went in my closet and he got all my clothes out. And he threw it in the floor. And I go, and then what happened? He went over on my bed and he got all the bedclothes off and threw them in the floor. And I go, and then what happened? He got all the posters off my wall of Sean Cassidy and whoever and threw them in the floor. And then what happened? Then he went and got in my chest of drawers and emptied everything out in the floor. Ha! Nah, nah, nah. And I go, and then what happened? And she goes, that was it. And you know me, I went, I laughed. I didn't mean to, it was just funny. And then she looked at me, she hated me again. Why are you laughing at my... And I said, baby, that was kind of weak response, wasn't it?
All the accusations.
Is that all he can muster up? And she goes, and I saw her kind of eye change, and she went, oh. And I said, you know what you ought to do? Is when you tell this story, just start with, this man used to mess with me, and his pecker was like this long, and it was blue, and it turned to the left. And she went, and she started laughing. And she started laughing, you know, she was kind of lower. And she was bouncing. And she was laughing, and she wasn't leaking anymore. She was like crying, laughing. And 10 minutes went by, 15 minutes went by. She was laughing, couldn't stop laughing. And finally the doctors came in there and they gave her a shot. They were afraid she was going to break her ribs. Right? And in she taught me a lot of stuff. One of the things she taught me in a very real way is how we can trap ourselves in these stories we tell that don't have all the information in them. Because, you know, she was programmed from a little girl up that this man was a big demonic power in her life or whatever. And now, 25, 35 years later, she still has that same program going. Until we laughed at his little pecker. And her whole the way she framed that stuff changed from that day forward. And it was awful what happened to her. Because I was not minimizing anything. It was awful, but the more awful thing is that 25, 35 years later, she was treating herself like she had been treated. You know? And I don't know what your stories are or the stories that you tell over and over and again. I want to tell you that God is at work trying to help you be creative with that, to burst through that. Same, especially if you feel yourself tired of you. You know what I'm talking about? Do you? No? Yes? Okay. Because it really don't matter what happened to us near as much as what we do with that. It don't matter if we're black or white or tall or skinny or Chinese or Mexican or whatever. What matters is, are we beginning to wake up to the fact that God has created and called you for a purpose? And it's not necessarily to go out and do things. It's more about becoming who you were supposed to be. Because you can take all that negative stuff in your life, and rather than it being an excuse, it can be the reason. It can be a source of very deep wisdom for you. You know? And all that energy that we have spent in the past keeping up our facades can now go to something else. So, anywho, anybody got anything to say? It's about time to eat, right?
You know, another thing in my notes is your pain can be your platform.
Teach me about that. What did I say?
That all your experiences can make you stronger and not weaker.
Yeah, the pain can be your platform. I said that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, maybe I can say it. Okay. That, our pain is the very stuff out of which we create our real life, our real who we are. As opposed to spending 10, 20, 30 years running from the very pain that is trying to teach us and wake us up and help us become who we are. Paul, with the things I want to do, I don't do, and the things I don't want to do, I end up doing. That tension, that's part of what he's talking about, is the tension between those. The anger at your daddy, the anger at your mama, the anger at the society, the anger at whatever. The fear, the depression. We take that as a punishment from God sometimes. You know what I'm talking about? When in fact, perceived correctly or beginning to try to understand it, it'd be the best thing that ever happened to you. Not the particular events necessarily. Because I work with folks in the courts a lot, right? And I do anger management, domestic violence classes a lot, and everybody's griping about it's just about money, it's just about this. I say, yeah, it's about money here. Okay. And one of the points I make with them is that nobody in the court system looked them up in the phone book and came found them. They got their drama in the street on their own. Because right now there's probably somebody smoking something within a mile of here. You know? Some woman's beating her husband or something, whatever. And the issues with all these classes I teach, it's not about whether you're domestic violence or drunk or whatever. Because it's all the same stuff. It's just some folks act out this way, some folks act out this way. And the people who actually engage the process, 100% of them say, you know, I wish I didn't have to spend all this money, but this is the best $500 I ever spent. It was a favor to them